Are you actually joking? Are you joking?
Ah.
Are you kidding? So, what does that mean?
Can you hear me, everybody? Are we live now? Oh my god. Guys, right. Fuck. I don't even know where to start with this.
I'm going to let you do the explaining on this one, sir.
Um, we had it all set up and going, and we've been recording and watching it, and we're it just I just saw a button at the top right of the screen says start stream. I couldn't understand why you guys were commenting
Yeah.
saying that you couldn't you were waiting for us. I was like, what do we mean we're waiting for us? We're 10 minutes in. Oh, right. If you've started, really sorry about this. Forward it to the moment where Tyrion is about to discover Cersei and Jaime's bodies.
13 minutes in. I wouldn't say it's the most gripping 13 minutes so far.
You haven't
So,
really missed anything. We've had a bit of a chat about just how
wait,
excited.
has all of our chat just not been?
We've recorded it. We've got a
Okay.
recording for the pod, but
Thought we had a good. I thought we were having some good conversation.
we did
there.
have some good chat.
Okay.
Sorry, I did go through and I did say hello to everybody. Hello to Idaho. Hello Ivan. Hello
Yeah.
Crump. Hello Claire. Hello Bruce. Hello John. Hello Beth. Hello Unreal JDV. Um,
Thank you all for coming.
thank you so much for coming. Really sorry. Really sorry about that.
Final hiccup. That was it.
That was it. We're now
That's
live
it. We're now live on the YouTubes.
on the tubes.
So man, I can't believe everyone missed all of our. Well,
thankfully, we've only missed like 5 minutes of the show. So if you can
yeah.
get through to, if you're watching along with us, we'll hang on for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
We're just at the moment where Tyrion has just seen where Cersei's body is.
Yeah.
So let us know what you think.
Give people another second to just
But
recalibrate.
and we've set it up, just so you know, we've set it up because we are doing it like Gogglebox. So behind the camera is the big TV.
Yeah.
Imagine if I'd done like the whole show.
Mate, if
And
you'd
I'm
have
like, people are saying they're still waiting
because
for
the
us.
thing is, I trust, given the paraphernalia around here, that you know what you're doing. There's a
I
lot
genuinely do
there's
know
a
what I'm
lot
doing. I
of
just haven't
things
pushed the last button.
that make me think there's a man that knows. But anyway, this is new territory for both of us. This is first time we've actually watched an episode together
It is
for the pod because we do them remotely.
ever actually. Did we? I don't think we ever even when it was on. We didn't.
We went to we were both at the season 5 premiere at the Tower of London.
Oh, we were, weren't we? Yes, that's
yes,
right. Yeah,
yes. We had a very nice conversation actually. I'm surprised you don't remember.
Bad old days of Jamie. Bad old days.
It was like encountering a genuine celebrity.
I'd not just hosted the bloody thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was tired and emotional.
Tired and emotional for a busy day.
I can't
So
give,
apart
I
from
can't
that.
give you a counter because on the Sky Planner it says 13 minutes, but there was ads and stuff. So it's at the moment where Tyrion and has just discovered Cersei. You know what? We've wasted your time enough now. You've been very
as long as you're roughly where we are.
Yeah. So we're
And
gonna
this will be it. This will be it. All right, we're going. Tyrion's.
There's no timestamp because I'm watching it on Sky, so there's no real timestamp on it.
Tyrion's Tyrion's pulling a few bricks out of the rubble.
You can see Jaime's hand.
That hand was quite important in the end because it's the if he didn't have it,
I'd never seen it.
wouldn't have seen it. Sorry, this is amazing from Dinklage, isn't it?
He is brilliant. He really grew with the show, didn't he?
Yeah, yeah. I think in the last 2 seasons as well, he all the loyalties of the 3 siblings, it's always up in the air and it's changing like the wind, but it does track.
My only comment with there would be if all those rocks had fallen on them, they would
They'd
not
be
look.
smashed to
They'd
shit.
look like a fucking pancake.
Also, there were like 2 bricks deep,
Yeah,
but they got buried.
yeah. They're on top of a lot of bricks there.
It's quite an odd choice to have them get buried by bricks, I think. I mean, this is one of the things on the rewatch. I'm like, what an odd way to kill them off.
Yeah,
But I respect it.
I can't think of another way that they could have gone rather than a big showdown.
Well, I thought they were going to do like death by like suicide pills, like Hitler and his wife,
Okay, Eva Braun.
Eva Braun. Yeah.
Or if you believe the conspiracy theorists, he went off to live on a farm in Argentina and died when he was 86.
Well, there you go.
I don't believe that for a second. But
So Arya's facing up to all the Dothraki and the violence, just witnessing all this again. This was a big part of last episode for her, was
yeah,
choosing to leave the violence.
John just doesn't give a shit, does he? Approaches horses from behind. I was always terrified of doing
You
that.
never approach a horse from behind. He'll get killed again if he's not careful.
So, is he mad at this point? Oh, here's one of the most. Here comes the best shot of season 8.
The most fascist-looking shots on the show.
Yeah, but also just the lining up of the camera with the dragons behind.
This is also the point where I remember thinking Arya's not abandoned her idea to kill Cersei. She's just moved her target to Daenerys. And I was shocked that she didn't do it. But she just killed the Night King,
Yeah.
so she needs a break. But
This bit here reminds me of like Rogue One or like quite Star Wars.
the Force Awakens, there's a big scene where they
Yes, that's
where they
it. Yeah,
blow
yeah,
up
yeah.
a planet
Yeah,
with Donal Gleeson.
yeah, that's exactly it, isn't it? Because the Unsullied look quite imperial, don't
They do. And it's so interesting that they were liberated, but they're just serving
now
another
they're
master.
just the same thing in the cold
They're
now.
just weapons. But he realizes, I think this is
He knows now what he's got to do, doesn't he?
Yes, but I think he realizes the violence and everything she stands for is systemic. All the generals, all the lieutenants, all the Dothraki, they all believe.
Look at that shit.
Oh,
Now she got changed since
yes,
the last episode.
she has.
So after all of that, she was like, "Just gonna fix my hair." Back in a
Good
tent.
luck finding a powder room now that you
know.
blew the place up. But
I kind of think it must be like Ozzy Osbourne before he goes on stage and has that little booth to the
yeah.
side.
Also, don't you think she dresses a lot like Cersei now?
Mm.
Very tight,
Yeah.
very restrictive clothing. It looks. We've seen this with the women, Sansa particularly, and Cersei. The way the fashion starts to look like armor.
You can see the reflection of the of it on the flame. That's how we on the picture frame.
Love that.
That's how we're getting around the HBO copyright.
You killed my enemies in their iron suits.
Cersei tells Marjorie the story in season 3. Then the same happens to them. Yes, you're right. The reason for Jaime and Cersei calling to Unreal JDV is because it's the same as the way the Reigns of Castamere were killed by Tywin.
Nice.
Love that.
Good illusion there. One of the things I think that she's just not given any consideration to is, what does a society look like where all of my loyal soldiers like to rape and pillage and
Yeah.
shag their horses?
Yeah.
Where are they going to go?
What strikes me most about this is that this is what they've all been wanting,
Mm.
and actually this feels more terrifying than anything Cersei or the Lannisters have
Yeah.
in place.
It does. A lot of the Lannister, they didn't really care about the common people, whereas
No.
Daenerys has just killed most of them. And that feels so much worse, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even her sleeves look like dragon wings, don't they?
Yeah.
They're sort of tattered slightly.
And this is her first speech as like king of the queen of the universe, but she's
This is the scary bit. The war's not over, she said.
We're going to liberate all the people of the world.
That's when you realise no one is safe in this
So she's
country.
off to Dawn, from Lannisport to Karth.
Karth, you're going to go back over the ocean.
From the Summer Isles to the Jade Seas.
Yeah, this is where I start to lose the. You just want to kill everybody.
Yeah, there's no real logic, is there?
Like, I
really?
know she's lost her grip. That's the point. We know that. But it's starting to be a bit like, take a day off,
Yeah.
right? Like, have a sit down.
Well, surely she's lost a lot of her army anyway, as well. There don't seem to be that many there. They've just fought
I
the
think the
Night King.
support also, we know that no one really liked her when she came to Westeros. So this is something she's not had for a while. This undying support.
Yeah.
And she's basically being radicalized in real time, isn't she? She's in the sort of Westeros' echo chamber.
Yeah.
But it's just it does happen fast. I don't want to lay into the show really today, but it's just
Tywin wearing
Tyrion.
is Tyrion wearing Vivian Westwood pirate boots? I think he might be.
Yes. It's like the Devil Wears Prada. Are those the Vivian Westwood pirate boots? Yes, they are.
I freed my brother, and you slaughtered the city.
Oh, that's a good shot.
Yeah. Throw down the brooch.
This is also the
Oh, I forgot about this. The Unsullied have stopped. What's she going to do? Is she going to kill Tyrion?
that stamping of the sticks there. It's what happened to Astapor when she liberated everyone. Wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. Take him.
It's interesting that she wouldn't just have him killed.
Yeah.
But Jon and Tyrion are on the same page at this point. We have to stop her.
I mean, Jon must be thinking, I've really fucked up here.
He should have just taken the job.
Because, well, he should have taken the job. And also, I'm just going to pause it. Because,
Pause in here.
just paused it for a sec. So, Jon, at this point, he'd been told by Varys and by Tyrion that this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, she's my queen. Gotta trust my queen. And now, it's blood's on his hands a little bit as well now.
Yeah. I feel like I mean, it's not his fault because he's known her for like, what, a month at this point?
She's his auntie.
He's known her for about a month. She seemed cool, little flirty, mutual interests.
Yeah.
And now it's like every single person in Westeros and other continents needs wiped out.
Yeah.
I mean, she's proposing ethnic cleansing on a scale that, like, is just unheard of.
Well, she's become the Mad Queen, hasn't she?
She's become mad. But I feel like I'm gonna, like, my knowledge of the Mad King is thin. Even he wasn't like, let's go to uncharted parts of the world and kill all those people.
Wipe them out
You've
before
only got one dragon left.
Yeah. I've pressed
Anyway.
play again.
We're back on. Snuck up on him.
Mm.
Not technically true. I mean, yes, but
Yeah. She's everyone's queen now.
Yeah, I think we all know a killer after what we
Yeah.
just witnessed.
Arya saying, "I know a killer when I see one." Was it the dragon slaughtering thousands in front of your very eyes that may have given it away? We're at a commercial break. I'm just forwarding through that for a second.
It's interesting though that John's identity was protected to save his life, and now he's come out as Aegon the fifth or sixth, I can't remember.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're now a threat to someone else on the throne.
Yeah.
You're gonna get killed, even though it's your aunt. Some things don't change.
Yeah. But basically, everyone's giving John the eye, saying, "Mate, sort her out."
Have a word with your girlfriend. We've got Tyrion kept in a sort of larder. I presume the prisons were all
It does look like,
barricaded.
does look like something Boggison Bean.
Were they really good friends, Varys and Tyrion? They were sort of
They were
like
just kind of
loose
like
acquaintances.
they were work colleagues that just kept getting promoted together, weren't they?
Mm.
I don't think they did many drinks after work, did they? I'll take a picture for posterity and put it on our Twitter account.
She says.
Yeah, exactly. The war is not over. It just looks knackering, doesn't it? I mean, they've what? The long night was when?
3 days ago.
3 days ago.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
I think it was meant to be a couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
But a couple of weeks ago, they had the long night.
I would
then they just
argue-
had that massive fucking chaotic battle. And
Yeah.
now they're always like, right, we're gonna go off and let's go to Astapor.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck.
I'd argue if I was Sansa up in Winterfell, I'd think you guys are not. You're gonna get tired before my lot do.
Yeah.
Like, that's true.
Mhm. Of course he wouldn't. He's Jon Snow.
Of course not.
Not even the thinking woman's crumpet. Every woman's crumpet. Every man's crumpet. He looks like he'd really enjoy a nice bath.
I know he
Jon
doesn't. He?
Snow.
Get some shampoo in those locks.
Right. Can you guys on the stream hear the TV show that we're listening to, or does it just go dead quiet when we're
I
watching?
know. The thing is, I'm quite gripped. I
I
keep
know.
forgetting to say anything. It's interesting because she's constantly been torturing and maiming and murdering. It's
Yeah,
just always been people that we don't like.
yeah.
And the show's
And now it's like, oh, I'm going to say it. These are nice
she
people.
burnt all those Dothraki alive in a hut, and you sort of go,
Yeah,
"Yes, Queen."
yeah,
And now it's like, "Oh, but this isn't in service of anything. Like you're
yeah.
not. This isn't badass. This isn't."
Claire says they can't hear the TV, but that's fine. They won't get sued by HBO.
This is good for our lawyers, isn't it?
But Richard says John's dressed like the Night King. He is. You're right. He has got the same kind of like that waxed barber.
Yeah,
It's like
it is a water repellent. It looks water repellent.
I'd say it is. It's waxed, isn't it? Gotta be.
But yeah, a lot of this front bit of the episode is really trying to get us to understand why John is about to do what he's going to do.
Yeah.
Her decision to suddenly want to wipe everyone off the face of the earth.
We just have to roll with that.
We just have to roll with it.
Because her anger was at Cersei, wasn't it? That's all
Yeah,
the anger was
I
directed
thought
at.
when we did the rewatch, I was struck at how it was clear throughout 7 and 8 that her big thing was, I've come all the way back here after wanting to come here all my life, and I don't know why the fuck I'm here.
Yeah.
That seemed like a big thing on my rewatch. Like,
Yeah.
oh, you wanted it so badly,
And look what
and
it
you
is,
got it,
yeah.
and you're like, I don't know why I wanted this.
Yeah.
She could have had a pretty good life doing
Yeah.
something else, but the lure of what she thought she wanted sort of like blinded her.
When should she have stopped?
Good question. When she robbed that guy and locked him in the vault in Karth,
Yeah.
she had enough money to buy a nice house,
Yeah.
a few servants,
That's all we want, isn't it?
a few legs of lamb.
Yeah.
That's the point she could have jumped off, but
Could have just checked out. It's like winning the lottery at 45. It's like, what do? Do you go back to work or do you just think, fuck it? She could have just think, fucked it. She could have. Instead, she's ended up like that guy with all the jewellery that built the motocross thing in his back garden.
exactly.
And blew all the money and got an ASBO.
I think that we don't get enough time with it. It's a big show, there are loads of people. We've kind of lost track of Daenerys a little bit. I'm surprised they're this torn over it. But I guess part of
Yeah.
it is it's going to be very hard to kill her because she's got like 50 million people around her.
Yeah.
No, you're not the last man she's going to execute, Tyrion.
I don't understand why John's torn though. Still,
I think it's just hard. I think it's
just-
not easy.
is it because he's made the wrong choice, or because he's still finding it hard
Well,
to accept that he's going to kill the woman he fancies?
maybe he
Peter
feels
Sutcliffe did that all the time.
well, indeed, made a living out of it. I might wonder how much of it makes him think of Egret as well. This like it was never gonna work, so I've wasted all this time falling
Yeah.
in love with her.
Yeah.
End up there with Egret.
Well, that's where he goes back at the end, isn't it? That's his
Indeed.
spiritual home. Your sisters, do you see them bending the knee? No, because she's going to fucking kill them. No, they won't. Yeah, you do, John.
John's sort of still at this point thinks the North is safe from Daenerys, and obviously, you, me, everyone watching, Tyrion knows
Yeah,
because she's just fucking said so.
yeah.
She's gonna go for anyone that let Cersei stay in power. She
Mm.
thinks everyone's complicit.
Yeah.
It seems so harsh.
Does he,
Sansa,
does he just pop off and do it now, does he? Or does he wait a bit?
it must, you know.
Yeah, this is it.
And you know, this is all the way back to season 2 when we saw the throne room. We thought it was covered in snow, And it's ashes.
So this is ash, isn't it? It's not
This is
snow.
ash.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of crazy, isn't it? Because I mean, it really does look like snow.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, it is snow.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, that's a great shot. Oh yeah, Drogon like underneath the ash, waking from a sleep.
what the
I'd
fuck?
forgotten about that shot.
That's absolutely batshit. Because why the fuck would the dragon want to sleep there?
Protecting the front door.
Oh, right, yeah, yeah. Kind of like Cerberus,
Yes.
the three-headed dog.
Had a
Ooh.
sniff. So Drogon's just had a sniff of John. Oh
Drogon's
yeah.
like, oh, I know
I
you.
know you. You can
You're
go
one of
in.
us.
You won't stab her.
I love that she's like got all these guards and she employs a dragon that is asleep
Yeah.
to do the final background check.
It's quite Harry Pottery. Didn't they have the big dog called Tiny?
Yeah,
Guardian
yeah,
of
the
Philosopher's
three-headed
Stone.
dog, yeah.
Oh, is that what you meant? No, it wasn't.
Cerberus. Well, that's
Oh.
what it's based off, yeah.
Ah, I see.
Three-headed dog from Greek mythology.
This is it. So this was the shot that we saw that she saw in her vision.
It's crazy that the throne room is blown apart.
Yeah.
And this is the first time she's been to the throne room, clearly.
Yeah. Does she cut herself on it? Or was that just in her dream?
I can't remember.
Or am I thinking of King Viserys, aren't I? Didn't he cut himself?
She
on
should cut herself on it. It's a really, really good scene, this.
it? Yeah.
She's all alone. For the first time in years. She's all alone.
Yeah.
And she's got nothing to
Right.
do.
There's no cake.
Looks a bit like frosting though, doesn't it? All
Yeah.
that ash.
And it all comes down to this.
Come to symbolize everything she's done.
Yeah.
Her whole life, really. Since we met her.
And she's touching it.
And she's touching the hilt because it's obviously made of swords, but I thought all the swords pointed up. She found the bit that's not sharp.
They've got to have something to hold on to on the
Yeah,
arms.
that's true.
Somewhere to put your remote. There's John in the background, out of focus.
Oh, yeah, you spotted him before I did. She's going to sit on it for the first time. Maybe she doesn't get cut. Maybe that's too on the nose.
Does she actually sit on it? I'm not sure she does.
Oh my god, I don't think she does. Just realizing it's the dream is so much bigger than the reality.
But in the George's book,
Yeah.
it was massive, wasn't it? And we've seen in House of Dragon,
Yeah,
but it's actually
much
a different
bigger.
throne, a bit more elaborate, isn't it?
Much bigger.
John trying to rationalise with her. We should be watching the YouTube clip of the script reading at this point as well. John trying to plead to her better judgment.
And she doesn't have forgiveness in her.
No. We can't hide behind small mercies.
she's fanatical at this point.
Mm. And she thinks John's just trying to plead with her to be kind to everybody, and really is pleading with her to give her a reason not to kill her.
It's interesting because she seems to need him.
Well, she ain't got a hand of the king for a start.
I think she does really love him,
Mm.
but I don't think he ever loved her as much.
I don't like the lighting in this scene.
And I don't like the references to when we were both little boys and girls when they're related. Oh,
They're kissing, and
I think if someone,
you are dead.
oh, did it. Oh my god. Wow.
Silent death.
Oof. Blood out the nose and the mouth.
Bit of CGI blood there.
He looks shocked that he even did that.
Yeah. It's like, I fucked it now. And then it's
Oh. I was just going to say, if someone unsheathed their sword
Just
while
gonna
kissing
pause it.
me, someone unsheathed their sword while kissing me, easy,
yeah.
I think I would notice.
Yeah.
Because you see, you know,
He reached round. It was a bit more obvious when you're watching it.
it's
wasn't it?
when you know it's coming. But she was. I just think she's so much more into him at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, because he's kind of seen her murder a load of children.
Yeah.
But that's really. I've never really picked up on just how much she loves him,
No.
even if it's a bit fanatical.
Very weird. Very weird.
Really good though.
So Cersei's just been stabbed. We'll press play
Daenerys
again
has
a
just been stabbed, not Cersei.
sorry, Daenerys just been stabbed. And we are only halfway through the episode.
But I thought Daenerys died sooner in a weird way, because I'm a bit like, God, that's 42 minutes.
In fact, Richard's just said this all happens earlier in the episode than I remember.
Really?
Yeah. No, she didn't. She never got to.
Nothing's really happened yet. Not to no shade to HBO, but
Yeah.
anyway, yeah.
Neil says, "Am I the only one who turned up to this party in fancy dress?" No,
Huh.
I'm here as a children's BBC presenter.
We should have worn clothes. We should have
Awesome.
worn fancy costumes,
I
but
haven't got any of my stuff here. I could have dug out my.
crazy props.
And here comes Drogon.
Here comes
And this is
Drogon.
where John's just like, let's all be calm.
Why does Drogon just sense drama? Do you think?
Well, there must be like that connection between.
Because if I was Jon and I'd stabbed the queen who's got a murderous dragon, I'd have fucked off
I'd
by
have
now,
legged it.
or I'd have hidden in a toilet.
Yeah. You're in all sorts of trouble now. I must admit, when I first watched this, I thought John was toast here.
Yeah,
I thought that was going to be.
I thought they'd die together weirdly as well. Jon, get away, man!
Yeah. She's gone, eyes closed, by herself. Knife.
Still kept the knife in her.
Right, John, Drogon's there. Just go. I've just
Mate,
found her.
Get
I've
out!
just found her like this.
She will like that when I got here.
This is nuts. She can smell that she's dead, and he's gonna go batshit.
And then I love that
Drogon does look scary.
yeah, he looks fucking huge. He's obviously checking that she's not asleep or
Yeah.
acting. What was that like for Amelia Clark? Did she just have some green screen shovel just
Just some guy in like
down
a
her
morph
back?
suit.
Yeah.
Here we go. She'll Gets a big old bollocking from Drogon.
Uh-oh.
Now, this
Why?
this
Why is he doing this?
now. Oh,
Okay,
sorry. Right.
Drogon is just barbecuing the Iron Throne. But, okay, go
So
on.
I've just paused it.
Go on.
This is a bit naff.
Well, what he's just started doing, though, which I didn't know, is burn the area around the throne.
Yeah.
So he'll burn the throne. I feel like when I remembered it, I thought he was like,
I thought you just melted the throne.
I'm going to burn the throne symbolically,
Yeah,
which I
that's
just
what
think.
was that not what it was?
But he's just going
Okay.
praying it. If you go, well, you have to go back. But he started going
Yeah,
left,
he
and
went-
then he sort of,
Yeah,
he's just pissed off.
but
Now he's
that's
burning the
symbolic.
throne.
I don't know. I just kind of.
I agree with you though. It's stupid.
It's a bit kind of like this animal that's just bent on rage.
He doesn't know what it is.
Yeah, he's got no idea what that thing is. All he knows is that his master is dead.
That looks fake as fuck.
Now what's going to happen? Now
John's
Drogon-
like, oh, I'm toast. And Drogon just goes, nope. I think I'll just go away.
Well, he takes. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. He takes Daenerys with him, doesn't he?
Oh, what, in his claws?
Yeah. I'd forgotten that. So that's it. The throne is no more. The wheel has been broken. She did break the wheel.
Yeah. In dying, she broke the wheel. Because as long as there was a Targaryen, there was always going to be this pursuit, right? That's what
Well,
I remember thinking at the
Still,
time.
there is still a Targaryen.
Yeah, but, you know, he
It's
doesn't
the
care.
most daintiest of claws.
What the fuck is Oh, that's the tip of his wing, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
fucking-
he's off now. We never really know where he takes her.
How does he... So does he get
Does anyone
Daenerys...
in the comments know where they go?
Does he get Daenerys' body? Oh,
So he just like, that's it. I'm taking her. I'm off.
I'm sorry, but she is not going to be in one piece when he lands. He's going to lose her head somewhere
Yeah.
over the narrow sea.
It's
Oh
gonna-
God, there's an arm
There's
missing.
someone in flea bottom. It's like, "Doof, I've
A
survived."
fucking head fell out of the sky. That's crazy. Also, I know it's just CGI. I would love it if Emilia Clarke had to be strapped into some device and
Some-
catapulted through the sky just as. Yeah, that is
They're saying the reflection is helpful. So we're just on a
that is a
commercial break.
choice. That is a choice. I think mute it so we can chat during the break.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that sound like
Yeah,
a good
yeah.
idea? I think that is batshit still,
Yeah,
but
that was crazy. I mean, the whole Daenerys death made sense, but
yeah,
the
it
the
did.
Drogon thing was just a bit silly.
But the fanaticism did get dialed up, and I do think, yeah, you
Oh.
miss the insight into her a little bit this season.
Oh, Claire says that actually Drogon's flown to Valyria.
Right.
It's
God, that's gonna take so long.
they mention it later. Or yeah, back to Valyria. They said, Steve, thank you, Steve. Katie Michelle Shiver says Drogon looks so small now compared to Vagar. Yeah.
That's so true. The House of the Dragons
Oh,
runs out the water.
yeah.
Also, just shout out anyone that is watching with us.
Yeah, there's quite a few people are finding the the reflection in the Nick Cave
Let us
picture
know.
helpful.
Yeah, let us know so far. Like anything that's you've enjoyed more, anything you've enjoyed less.
Yeah.
I found some of the shots, some of the way they've been shooting this first half,
Does look
really
very-
impressive.
Very pretty, yeah.
Arya turning up out of nowhere at the top of the stairs. Didn't remember that.
No, I didn't remember that at all.
John's literally like, "What are you doing here?" She's like, "Hello, it's my thing."
But we are still kind of like 50 minutes in. We've still got another 40 minutes this show.
So the
left.
episode's really split into two halves.
Yeah.
Before Daenerys, after
They
Daenerys.
like doing that, didn't they? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
They did it with them. Okay.
Because it's only been really 3-4 characters so far.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're
So,
back.
so,
48 minutes in, if you're late.
so Drogon's just flown off with Tyrion. So,
Daenerys.
with
You all right?
I'm having it's been a long
It's
day.
the hot weather.
What else is there to happen?
Well, they had to sit around the table and invent
Yeah.
democracy.
That's 40 minutes of that.
Yeah, that's why people didn't like the episode.
Ah, I get it.
The next order of business. Oh no. Oh, I think Tyrion does a big speech, doesn't he?
No, I fail to. No, I will not have that.
They
Tyrion
can't sentence him because
Tyrion doing a big impassioned speech. His beard's grown about an inch.
who is John in charge?
So who organised all of this then?
Also, where's all the ash? Were they too far away from all that?
They're in the dragon. This is the dragon pit now,
Yeah,
right?
but it's just next to King's Landing,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It seems to have cleared up a bit. Well, we've not really been told. Oh, this. Okay,
This
hang on a
is
sec.
okay.
So Tyrion's just come out of jail into the dragon pit where he's faced with Brienne
Yeah.
and Sansa. So everyone's here now. This must be
A few
weeks
weeks later,
a few weeks later.
I bet they're gonna say, "Sorry for keeping you for so many nights." Yeah, they'll do something to.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why
Again, I'd completely forgotten that.
someone's had to draft that seating plan.
Someone's had to CGI out a water bottle.
Yes. Is that in this bit?
Yeah.
All the gang's here.
And he's looking around. He's going,
Gendry, he's done well for
yeah,
himself.
Yara,
Yara.
looking around.
The
going,
Prince of Dawn. This is a funny thing because they forgot to get anyone else in after. No one can agree on what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yara's got a point though.
Yeah. I'd forgotten that Grey Worm was just in charge of everything.
Grey Worm is now
He's now
the
king.
king.
The king. Speaking as someone in a t-shirt and trousers on a really hottest day of the year, looking at Bran underneath his blanket and furs in his wheelchair in that heat is making me feel ill.
The sweatiest crotch
Yeah.
in Westeros. Oof. I don't remember him being so awful.
No.
We don't.
You're the most powerful people in Westeros. Choose one.
This has been something that's come up a few times this season. Tyrion has been saying, let's have a system that doesn't rely on inheritance.
Yeah.
The Ironborn have one. The Night's Watch have one.
So it's just gone, okay, choose one then.
I love that after all this
And more Tully. Go on, son. Shoot your shot. This is Tom Wamsgams.
He is the Tom Wamsgans.
Does he just get cut off straight away?
Sansa's like a dick to him.
Veteran of 2 wars. Sit down, Tully.
You know, I want to stand up for Edmure here. He was involved in the War of the Five Kings
Look
a
at them all
lot.
laughing. Yeah, he was. But that's Carl
It
turning to
is.
Tom and
Yeah.
going, "You fucked it, pal.
You fucked it, pal.
Great
She's,
banter.
yeah, they've got his dick in their hands and he's not got anyone's dick in his hands.
Yeah. We have to choose some. I love him. Do you know he was the guy in Four Weddings and a Funeral?
Yes, yeah. Waymar Royce, his
Yeah,
name is something
the guy
Royce.
in the bar with a bottle of whiskey. Samwell inventing democracy here. Listen up.
I love this. They're all like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
What? You mean like a vote?
They haven't even got little Robin Arryn as well. He's
Yeah.
grown up. He's had
Plenty of
puberty.
bitty.
Plenty of bitty. I don't know who that guy in the middle is.
No. Here we go. This is where everyone goes, we're going to find out who it's going to be. What?
Past
Past
few
few
weeks.
weeks. There we go.
Ding 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 ding.
Steve's made a good point.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, everyone on that council knows John's true lineage. He's still the rightful heir despite his crime. The people of King's Landing would have seen him as a hero
They would.
for what Danny did. Good point, Steve. Good
I
point.
think he should have been made to be king as a punishment because
Mm.
that's the last thing he wants.
Mm.
Him going up north, having a lovely time in the woods,
Yeah.
sort of giving him what he wants, isn't it? Really.
Mm. No worries.
And who has a better story?
Then Bran.
Oh
The
god, broken.
broken, that's it.
Do you think he's like, I saw this coming,
I think, well, he must have done. He must have
or
done.
do you think he's like,
That's why he's had his hair done.
this is the one thing? At this point as well, people have stopped asking what the three-eyed raven is. Do you
Yeah.
remember in season 7 when people are like, Bran has visions?
Visions,
You know,
yeah.
when you say like,
Yeah.
your great grandma has
Yeah.
a migraine.
Yeah.
I feel like no one, like, does Brienne know what his visions are?
No.
Davos was,
There must have been like a collected, like, right, this is a big debrief.
yeah. Davos would be like, you've got to be fucking kidding.
There's been some TikToks doing the rounds. Have you seen it? There's been some viral videos gone around.
Sansa points out that he can't have kids. Tyrion points out that that's not been working well for anyone, having children inherit wealth.
True.
No Nepo babies in Westeros.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
I love how there's an unspoken moment where Tyrion was just making a suggestion to save his own life,
Yeah,
and now he's telling everyone. Now he's anointing a king,
yeah.
like within 20 seconds. Fair play to you, mate. That's how you do a speech. Bran's not said a word. And that's why he should have it. Go on, Isaac.
I just don't think he'd be able to focus.
It's just like some.
He can see.
Sire, we have to sort the new tax legislation out. I must go now. It's like,
I'm currently in 7 brothels mentally. Mentally, I'm not here.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated to. I mean, I don't think this is in the books at all, but like, how they got to this point. Who is that man?
He looks like a Mormont. No,
I was gonna say about the Prince of Dawn is that in season 6, Ilaria Sand kills all the people. Doran Martell and all
yeah,
the, and they just never got round to like
just
what happened to those lot. And
yeah,
so
yeah.
we hear in season 8
You just have to plonk someone
these
in.
whispers of the new Prince of Dawn. No one actually says what his
Yeah,
name
yeah,
is.
yeah. Never named. Just put in one of the most
But
parachuted into one of the most pivotal scenes of the whole thing.
the Martells are all wiped out, so he must just be.
Sansa shooting her shot now. So they split Westeros into two, then, don't they?
Yeah, and the North is bigger than all the other bits, I think. I still think this is a bullshit argument.
Mm.
Everyone was like, yeah, you should have your own sovereignty. Like, what would she have done if he'd said no?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the show still was really trying to give Sansa this, like, boss moment. And this was
yeah.
like she's quite cocky in a way that I don't really think tracks or makes a lot of sense. But fine, the North is separate. I don't know. They become Scotland.
Yeah,
Westeros has its own Scotland essentially.
yeah.
Um,
Lord of the Six Kingdoms has just been announced. So anointed. So
there's a lot of them, isn't there?
yeah,
The problem with Bran getting the crown is that he doesn't display any emotions, so it's a bit like, oh, Tyrion's gonna be the hand.
yeah. And I don't want to be king. Tough shit.
Oh,
Hmm.
he's
He's
not made that many mistakes, has he?
and he's never
He was a really good,
really good hand to Daenerys.
really
He's a
good
really
in
good master of coin.
acting hand when Joffrey made him do that in season 2.
Yeah,
He was good.
and surely Tyrion's one of the few people that's never really done anything through spite or vindictiveness. Has he?
No, I hate the way that they're like, you will fix all your mistakes. His mistake was not getting Daenerys killed soon enough. Um,
Yeah.
but they have to make it feel like a punishment, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bran is gonna. I'm sorry, I would hate to work with Bran. He is gonna have no crack
No.
because he's always gonna be doing something else.
There's gonna be no free pizza on a Friday.
It's like, you know how you talk to someone if you're like watching telly with someone and they're like on their phone
Mm.
and they're just not really engaging.
Mm.
He'll be like that time a million.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
Beth saying, I hope that isn't in the books. Unreal JDV says Branwell can join with the Heartswood tree in King's Landing Garden and rule for 1,000 years or not. Claire says Sansa was always
Interesting.
going to be the Queen of the North, probably. Do you think that was just lip service so that there was a woman in charge?
I do,
I
I
don't mean
do,
to
I
be
do
horrible,
personally, I do
but-
personally think the show was really trying to work to overcome some of the less
Some of the criticisms.
palatable treatment of women in the show.
Yeah.
I don't think it's undeserved. I just think it really comes out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we were
Well,
saying in
as-
our watch through that like all she did in Winterfell was walk around saying, if they haven't got enough grain, tell them they need more grain. And it's like,
Yeah.
I just think the job is a bit more senior than that.
Yeah. As Christina says, why aren't the other lords saying they want their own kingdom too?
Well, I would, yeah. If I was
If you were,
Waymar
especially
Royce,
Dawn, if you were the prince, you're right. If you were the Prince of Dawn, you'd be going, hold on a sec.
Dawn was the last
You
one to
take the
bend the
north.
knee.
You take the north. You've got all the rest of it. We're way over yonder.
Also, the big point. Here we go. We're back.
There we go.
Oh, John's now got a beard.
John of Nazareth is
This
back.
is me in lockdown. Kit looks terrible, doesn't he?
I don't know. He looks quite Arquette season.
Mm. He looks like everyone in East London that goes on holiday to Greece with their fisherman sandals.
Yeah.
No, like like the leather strappy ones, like the gladiator
Oh
sandals.
yeah.
I like those, like the Birkenstocks. It does seem right that he gets punished.
It does.
It does, I
Yeah.
think. He did kill the queen.
But I think he can stop beating himself up.
Yeah, I do. Yara was like, we swore to the queen, mate, you've been on a fucking boat on the Iron Islands while this
Yeah.
has been going down. You can pipe
You
down.
were flirting with it, Yara.
Yeah.
That was all you did.
Yeah.
It must have been mental filming this episode though for the actors after all that time.
It's finally the end.
Have we seen like people's last shots? Did that? Did
I think they were quite coy with it, actually.
John and Tyrion saying goodbye. Oh, sequel.
They're all going their separate ways.
That's it. The gangs, the band's splitting up. And there he goes.
Really interesting shot, that, going down the steps. I've never really seen this bit before. Or is this where Jamie fought Euron? Near the dock that goes into the castle?
Maybe. So he's not gone back as King of the Night's Watch, though, has he? He's just gone back as a knight. Has he been demoted way back?
Well, I don't know. I don't know, because they...
Because that were two knights that picked him up, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brothers of the Night's Watch. So he's got his... taken the black. He's got his black cloak on and everything.
But you'd kind of expect him to have some kind of seniority going back.
Do you know what? The last person you want joining the Night's Watch is someone who was the manager.
Yeah.
He will micromanage the
Exactly.
fuck out of that place.
Tutting.
Well, when I did it,
Yeah.
actually, we stood to the left.
Tutting under his breath.
He would be the worst. Grey Worm not happy.
He's not, is he?
I mean, I understand that.
All the men have boarded, so that's the Unsullied going back to...
So what?
Where do they go then?
The
South
Isle of
the
Narth,
Isle
which
of
is
Narth.
where Missandei is from.
Oh.
But
Oh.
he was the commander of all the Dothraki, all the Unsullied. Pit, he's like,
Yeah.
fuck, you guys can't just be king.
Yeah, true.
Love this though. Sucks.
Are we on? Spin-off. John needs to have a son and he takes the throne in the end as the last surviving heir.
Ooh. Well, there is a Jon Snow spin-off in production, isn't there? Or in development.
have been through the mill, haven't they? The Starks.
Yeah, they have a good relationship. A good sort of. They've been through it.
They need to work on their fashion sustainability, though, don't they? Because
Mhm.
Sansa's outfit's changed every scene. Oh, I love John and Arya.
Yeah.
What's west of Westeros?
Love that.
Yeah,
Now she knows who she is. She can go.
yeah.
She can travel.
But also, still the most tantalising story that you want to follow.
I just think though, I'm like, God, you know, it's violent and dangerous. You are gonna get killed.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, true.
Let's. What if we go to uncivilized society? But
Great music here.
yeah, I thought she'd go with him. I thought they'd go to the north together when I watched this.
Yeah.
Brian, emotional as ever.
Really get into the spirit of it. Go on, make a gag, crack a gag. Bran saying you're exactly where you're supposed to be. So Bran knew that all this was going to happen.
Hmm. I wonder if it's like Doctor Strange in Avengers, where he can see all the potential things, so
Yeah.
he knows which one might happen,
Yeah.
but he doesn't force the issue. Ooh. One of your lights went down.
Ah.
There we go. 3 Starks.
Mhm.
Oh, this is the yeah.
Oh, this is the.
Brienne's not said a word this episode,
No, she's not had a single line yet.
so she's going through
So Barristan Selmy's in there. The book.
the is it the White Book,
Is that what it is?
and it's all the
All the heroes.
Kingsguard,
Yeah.
all the Kingsguard members that served. Sort of Wikipedia of its time.
Now this is what I think I've kind of like half imagined. Does this have the Game of Thrones written on there?
It's called A Song of Ice and
Oh,
Fire.
that was it. Yeah.
So Brienne is updating the book
For Jamie's.
for
like,
Jamie to make
she
sure
changes it though, right?
I don't remember.
Doesn't she? Captured in the field at the Whispering Wood, set free by Lady Catelyn Stark. So she kind of like tells
She's
the whole
kind of
story.
putting his whole story in there, good and bad.
Yeah, just like a journal.
I
Of
feel like everyone
events.
seemed to get a page, and she's kind of gone.
Took River Run, outwitted the Targaryen forces. So she's literally shining him in his best light.
Everyone gets a page, and she's like, Jamie's gonna have 7 pages, and she's gonna say every single thing that ever happened to him.
The most beautiful cock I've ever seen. And then the bastard left me. Yeah, so she's kind of changing the script a bit now, isn't she? I think that's what happens.
A big thing on the show is
Died protecting his queen.
oh yeah,
Escaped imprisonment and rode forth in attempt. No, she's
she looks like she's making this up as she goes. If you make an error, they don't have Tipex,
yeah, and it's good handwriting.
but she's making sure that everyone knows everything about him,
Yeah.
good and bad.
Yeah,
I don't know if I needed that scene, to be completely honest.
no, but I'm sure that we see the Song of Ice and Fire written.
Isn't it maybe Sam calls it that at the end?
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
It's really on the nose.
So this is. I
Okay.
like this throwback scene where at the table where Tyrion is the first to sit down.
And
because,
yes.
Because in all of when Tywin was there, he was always the last one in.
Yes.
And there was always cross about where
And
to
he
sit.
moves the chairs around a bit,
Yeah.
doesn't he? It's funny because it's just in a bit of a grotty old chamber, whereas in House of the Dragon, it's like a very beautiful
Oh,
room.
they've got that's where they've got the pool balls and
The
the
marbles,
yeah.
yeah.
But also,
This is
how
like,
is that the only how is that room still intact?
I know. Well, it must, maybe they've have to use a much less glamorous one because it's further underground, or
It's the same room though that they
is
were
it?
always in. Yeah, yeah, yeah. 100%.
Is it in one of the towers? Maybe Drogon didn't smash that side of the castle.
Must be.
And it looks like it could even be the Hand of the King's chambers or something. So Bronn is on the council. Sam is now the maester.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
Mm.
terrible title.
This is like Boris reading the Partygate report.
Do you know what it reminds me of? When Sky, sorry Sky, when they put out that documentary or that drama about COVID, and it was like
Oh,
with
with
Kenneth
Kenneth Branagh
Branagh.
playing Boris.
Get to fuck. I don't want to watch that. Still in the pandemic. Anyway,
I know a story about that too.
Tyrion's not mentioned in the history books.
It is like a COVID inquiry, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's like who's coming for some
It
flack?
it this feels like it's kind of beamed in from another show to me. I love it though, but
Yeah.
it's a bit weird. He's giving Charles Xavier vibes just because of the wheelchair
Yeah,
to
he
me.
is, isn't he? Bran's in the room. I do like Samwell's cloak. He does look very
Yeah,
Jedi.
yeah, he does. He's not qualified for that job though.
He's already did it. First meeting.
So
Sir
Podrick's got.
Podrick, I forgot he got knighted. Good
Oh, he's
lad.
got a gold cloak as well.
He's Kingsguard.
Yeah. What's Bron's job title? If anyone knows Bron's job title, please remind
Yeah,
us.
what
Because
was
I
Bronn
thought was he
doing?
Master of War or something?
No, because
Master
Master
of
of Coin.
Coin.
He's the new Littlefinger. So
He's Master of Ships.
yeah, so they're just trying to pick up. Yeah, we don't need the bro chat, do we? Really?
Mm-mm. I do want to watch a series that is just them fixing Westeros.
Yeah,
It's basically Parks and Rec.
that would be good. So Bronn wanting to build the brothels, slow pan out,
Oh, I was going to say, is this how it ends? But
chitter
it's
chatter.
not
It's
because we
not because
see
we
John.
see John going
Jo-
off. I think into, but there's the crack running through the map. Look,
Oh, that's a good detail.
yeah.
Well, so this isn't in a chamber then. If
No, this was in that's in the actual Red Keep, so it's a miracle it survived.
mm. Well, that's where all the rubble was. They must have
yeah,
cleared it.
to clean it up. So here we are back at the wall. God, this angle is so unflattering to me.
Manning the wall when there's no
I
White
mean,
Walkers.
yeah.
It's like going into work on a bank holiday.
Yeah. But he goes beyond the wall, doesn't he? Doesn't he?
He does. He does.
How does he do that then? Does he just go?
The
Look,
gate
lads.
is still intact because they came through the burnt hole in the wall. So he must just go through the gate.
Oh, Tormund. I forgot Tormund. So is it Eastwatch?
Oh, is he?
Well, that's where wasn't Tormund at Eastwatch?
Yeah, maybe he came to meet him. It looks like Castle Black.
Yeah, that's Castle Black, isn't it?
Tormund
No,
must
'cause
have been
Eastwatch-
so bored.
Eastwatch got destroyed, didn't it?
Yeah. What do you think Tormund's been doing all the time?
That fucking horn full of yak's milk. Or
Yeah.
whatever it was.
God. Fade to black. I don't remember any of this.
I don't remember Longclaw, no. So I think he's made an arrangement. That's Needle.
Arya's off.
Cersei putting on new bodies.
Not Cersei. She's dead.
Oh God, sorry,
What are you like?
Sansa.
Everyone's getting to work.
Yeah, new dawn. It's a new day. Feeling good. Is Arya's on a ship, isn't she?
Yeah, she's off. John's off. Little montage of the Starks, I guess.
Yeah.
There's
nice.
Sansa, looking very much like her mum.
Hmm? Arya with a little Harry Potter scar
Yeah,
from the Night's King. The Night King.
she's just off on the biggest year anyone's ever had. No responsibility.
Yeah.
Just vibes.
Find some kibbutz somewhere
think
with a
she's-
some nice pot.
This is not a popular opinion. She should have married Gendry, had a nice life.
Yeah.
They had a good, when they hooked up, they had chemistry.
Yeah,
She's not going to find
did.
that. She's not going to find that across the west of West.
Has Sansa got someone to keep her warm at night?
No one. I don't know who she's going to.
There was no real inkling of anyone, was there?
No. Theon, I thought. But
Little
then
does she know that Jonas of
Jo-
the House Jonas is just round the corner.
Joe of House Jonas.
I find it wild. Haven't they got 2 kids now?
Have they?
I think so.
So these are all just wildlings
that's
and
just
waifs
Jon-
and strays.
But there's John's people.
Yeah. Looks like the entirety of people that go to Download Festival.
Yeah.
Oh.
I forgot.
Forgot he lost an ear.
Yeah. Ghost.
Interesting that he's the only one that really kept their
Just
wolf.
Kept the wolf. Yeah.
Arya's is away somewhere.
Oh yeah, that's right. We saw her once, didn't we?
In season 7, she got reunited and let
then
her.
told her to leave. Arya looking over to the shores of the adventures to come. It's your last shot, Maisie. Make it count. Jon and Tormund.
So I don't think it is clear. There she goes. Sansa gets a crown.
Yeah. To
Very discreet.
nice crown. It is a good crown as well.
Oh, has that got Tully fish scales on it, like from her mother's house?
Yeah.
On one side.
It's a good crown, actually, isn't it?
I love how she's like,
It's the richest that House Stark's ever looked.
yeah. But I love that she's like, right, I'm gonna get my crown, sit on my throne. You're in a big village hall, basically.
Yeah. Arya looking over the horizon. This is it, guys. This is it.
It's kind of interesting because I think it is made clear. What?
You need to hold hands. This is
Oh.
it.
Oh, sorry, I'm holding the right. I thought we were shaking. It
7 months of rewatch has led up to this. Salute.
I don't know. What are they gonna do? Do you think they're gonna restore all the villages, or are they just?
What he's gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit like End of Battlestar Galactica, really.
I
Or is
never
it gonna
wa-
go
never
with-
watched it.
Haven't you? Interesting.
Never. Look at there's loads of. Oh, do you think it's all the wildlings returning north of the wall?
Yeah, it must have been.
So
Yeah.
he's almost like helping rehouse them a bit. I don't know.
Surely they can't have had all the wildings with them.
No, I think it's just a few of them that returned there
fighters.
after. Yeah.
Oh, shoots of grass coming through, little sign.
That's nice.
A bit like in.
Oh, there's children.
no, in Wally. There's children. he was. I reckon he was a White Walker.
Yeah.
He was one of the actors that played the White Walker. I'd say. If you spotted that, fact fans, one of the wildlings walking back from the wall.
And the gate closes.
Gate closes behind him. He does a little wistful look behind and says, "I'm fine with that. I'm where I need to be. I'm Jon Snow
He's just gonna disappear,
in the snow."
right?
But Longclaw's eyes are orange.
Mm. There's
There
gonna
he
be
is,
no
look.
one, right? Is that the idea that he's
Yeah.
just gonna disappear? They're never gonna find him north of the wall.
No. Enough people there to kind of, I guess, repopulate.
It's interesting because I think on a rewatch, I don't find any of that stuff with the Starks particularly poignant, and it's all beautifully done. But I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
it's really hard to
Also,
end.
is there only one horse there?
I know that's so cheeky. He's like, I brought this one from home.
There's like old people.
Children.
Give up your seat for a pregnant lady on the bus, Jon Snow. There we go.
It's
Wow.
round of applause for Game of Thrones.
Well done, Game of Thrones.
I thought that is really beautiful episode. I feel like in contrast to the first time I watched it, I feel like I liked
Likes it more?
the first half more and the second half less. Whereas I think when I watched it the first time, I
You
found
like your chat, don't you? Yeah.
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 What were your thoughts?
Kind of. Yeah. It was fine.
It
I
doesn't
can't
hit. It doesn't
it
hit
doesn't-
you
no.
here as much, does it?
No, because it's not we haven't got that finality
The big
of like we're never going to watch a new episode
Yes.
of Game of Thrones again.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It could have probably been 20 minutes quicker.
One of the things that I think is interesting with Game of Thrones is they felt, rightly or wrongly, everyone gets a send off.
Yeah.
Brienne doing right by Jamie is something that like I feel like could have been implied,
Yeah.
like rather than
Yeah.
we
that's
need.
a good point.
Like, what if we see her write it out? And I mean,
And we see Podrick,
because I
with his
think
armor
Brienne's a really interesting character to me because she is amazing.
Yeah.
Gwendolyn Christie, like we do not deserve her. She's
yeah,
amazing.
Yeah.
But it's weird how she became such a central part of the show when, as we could see, she had no big relationship with any of the characters to
No,
the point
'cause
where
it's-
you
no one
know,
really owed her anything either. There was
she
no,
was
you-
lesser down the chain than
Yeah.
a lot of the other characters. So it's interesting how they go, well, what's Brienne doing? What's Podrick doing? You know,
Yeah.
I could have happily not known what
That's just
happened to
fan
Podrick.
service, isn't it?
It
I
is,
think?
but I think that's why it's as long as it is because they sort of
Have
they
to
go,
do
well,
all those
what
bits.
you know.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I love the idea of them forming the new council and trying to fix things. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But I thought that first half was really powerful.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy.
Um,
I forgot about all the shots and how tyrannical it looked, and the whole episode looked phenomenal.
yeah, it really
Like,
did.
Just
It really,
like,
really did.
looked incredible.
What can we see? What some of the
Yeah, let's have a
listeners
look and
have
see
been
what
saying?
see what people
There's
have been
been
saying.
loads of comments. Holy shit!
We have had lots and lots.
Thank
and
you
lots.
everyone for listening
Thank you
along
so
and
much.
watching and
It's been really good.
and just checking in with us because
Yeah,
it's sort of we wouldn't be doing it if there wasn't anyone to do it for.
What have we got here? Steve Goddard saying, is that the room the same as the ones the council meetings happened in House of the Dragon? The continuity has been pretty good. If I remember rightly, the council room was in a separate part of the Red Keep. Okay.
Well, the only thing I would say to that is I only just noticed as of that scene that it's next to the bit where there's the painted mural on the floor.
Yeah.
I didn't know the council had meetings in there.
No, that's a different one. That's in the kind of courtyard bit, isn't it?
But in there where we
I
see
think that was just another, maybe.
another floor mural.
Maybe it's just a bit of decor.
Do you know what? If you hired a painter to do two floor murals in Westeros,
Yeah,
I would just think they would be the most inconsistent
true.
cowboy. You know, like when you get cowboy plumbers and you're like, you've done this all wrong.
Yeah.
Taps are upside down.
Stephen also said, "Do you reckon health and safety stopped the use of the ball things at those council meetings after Sir Kristen cave made his head in?"
Yes,
Yeah,
probably almost yes.
it's like right.
So I don't know if we talked about this when we were doing House of the Dragon, but when I interviewed Paddy Considine
Yeah.
um, for GQ, we spent about 4 hours together. And sometimes when you interview people for long periods, I like to go off the record and I like to take breaks because it can be quite draining for them. And one of the things he said, which I kept out because it wasn't said on the record, but I'm going to just tell people now. I said, look, I've been meaning to ask someone, what is the deal with these marbles? And Paddy said that it was one of the things they decided right away in the first episode that they'd have these marbles that they'd put in their slot as a sort of an attendance thing. And he
Oh, I see.
said, he was like, by episode 5, we realised it didn't make any fucking sense. But we'd filmed it in all of them, so we had to keep doing it. And I just thought that was so funny that it's like an idea that they thought, what if they have this
It was
kind of.
just like an aesthetic, like the Doctor is in kind of.
Yeah, exactly like that. But it did. Because it's like, but you can tell who's not here because they're literally not sitting in the fucking
Yeah.
seat.
Is Viserys here? No, his ball's not here, but I can see him.
Yeah.
No, he's not here. He's not
There's
here.
no way for it to be like, but his ball's there, but he's not
But he's-
sitting there.
Yeah, he's not here.
He's dead. So yeah, they must have removed it, or that maybe they move meeting rooms quite often because I guess eventually on the show we have different hands of the kings.
Yeah. Yeah, we will too.
Yeah, it's gonna be weird
Yeah.
not rewatching it with you.
James, it's the end of an era. No, absolutely, it has been. It's been fantastic.
In hindsight, I think we should have done every single episode. I just think like what
Oh God, that would have taken so long.
I know, but I just think like,
10 years of programming.
and at the end, you and I would go north on our horses and just leave the world
I
behind.
think we did. I think we did well. Maybe
I think it was.
you know
I
what?
think
Maybe at some point, just for when we're feeling nostalgic and reminiscent, maybe we'll go back and pick one of the episodes we didn't cover.
Or what we might end up doing is like going through our like 5 favorite deaths on the show, or we might do
Oh,
our
that could work.
favorite like deaths on the show, or we might review
Do our favorite deaths on the show or something.
our favorite
Yeah.
murders on the
Yeah.
show, you know. But there might be ways for us to jump into the
Yeah.
universe without meticulously going through it.
And look, let's say we've only got about a year before House of the Dragon season 2 comes back. I need to rewatch that.
Oh my god, we should do a rewatch.
You know,
We should do a House of the Dragon rewatch next year.
yeah.
In the
Maybe
run up to
in the run up to it.
HOTD.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
Beth saying it ends well, but it's still not a good episode. Yeah, it was. There were better episodes in season 8, but there we
well,
go.
you know, at the again, that's a good point. I reviewed this at the time and I gave it 5 stars, which ever since I did it, people were like, "That's a crazy thing to do." I think the episode, if you take all the other context of like all the other episodes away, I think that's a great way to end all the stuff that came before. Like,
Yeah.
if you think of it as like, you know, you get the script, you've got 90 minutes, this is the outline, this is what we need to do. I think
Yeah.
it works on that level.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I think you're right. I think a lot of it just feels weird in places.
Yeah.
But it's so big. And I think that when Game of Thrones got really good, it was the scale of it. And I think as soon as they started scaling it back down towards a conclusion, that's when it started to feel weird.
Because for all, but that's the problem that a lot of shows have is that they expand and they get so massive and massive
Mm.
and massive, and then they realise that actually what people want from an ending is to say goodbye to the people.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
they just want to say goodbye to the characters, and
I
actually the
thought-
circumstances rarely matter.
I thought what was interesting though, you know, we've just watched Succession's finale, and that is obviously 4 seasons. It's a lot neater and a lot more agile, but like they did that felt like all part of the same hymn sheet, didn't it? Like
Yeah,
there was references to season 1,
yeah,
all the clues were there, and I do think with this I kept thinking, you know, there's no mention of Ned in that episode, no mention of Catelyn,
true.
no mention of a lot of things really. A lot of the stuff was in looks and in exchanges, and there was a lot unsaid. And I guess sometimes I think you could say I certainly feel like that doesn't feel like the same show as the pilot that we watched.
No, God no. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But that's a decade,
it is.
and also,
It is.
I guess it's that's the problem a lot of businesses have when they become successful so quickly. It's very difficult to scale up,
100%.
and that's the problem that Game of
100%.
Thrones had. It's like we need to spend a lot more money on marketing. We need to spend a lot more money on the making,
Yeah.
on the salaries, on the
Yeah.
actors, and so the pilot just looks awful.
And then you go, well, we're paying.
Because that was what, a £6 million episode.
Yeah, the cast, the principal cast got 1 million per episode in season 8. So that's John, Tyrion,
John Tyrion, Cersei.
Daenerys, Cersei, and Jamie would have got paid for that,
Yeah.
I believe.
Mhm.
I don't think Sophie and Maisie
No,
got a
they
mil. I think Sansa was. I'm sure I
Mm.
read this. I'm sure Sansa was on like 850,
Oh.
something like that. So when you start to rack
That's why
it
she
up,
had to marry James
Yeah.
brother. She knew
yeah.
cash.
Well, because she didn't want to do any more work. We all saw that Apple TV show she did. She got stuck up the mountain.
I didn't see that. What was that?
Well,
That's showbiz, folks.
was it? Oh no, it was Quibi. She did one. She did a show on Quibi. Do you remember Quibi?
No.
How's
Quibi? Oh, is
Just
this
said
one
the
of
word
those,
Quibi about 50 times.
is
It was
this-
that
is this
streaming
like
platform.
Mubi kind of thing, is it?
It was that streaming platform that launched, and it was 10-minute episodes of things with
Yeah.
it were. And it
Oh.
launched in 2019, and then it sort of blew up like about 5 weeks later.
Babes, I was there when they first invented Mobisodes for Lost in 24.
I remember the ones for 24, but Quibi, it was like everyone's gonna watch telly on their phones,
Yeah.
and there was this.
That was it, wasn't it? People are going to watch telly on their phones. They're not going to watch hour-long programs
No.
on their phones. Turns out, yeah, we are.
Yeah, no.
Quite happily.
There's a show. If people are looking for some Quibi content, there's a show that I think it was Rachel Brosnan, or I think that's her name, who's in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Okay.
It's a sort of like Twilight Zone-y show where she's a woman who has a golden arm, and it's like not a comedy; it's a drama,
Oh, right. Okay.
and her arm is solid gold. You should Google it. It's the most awful thing. Anyway,
Fine.
Sophie Turner did a show for them where I think she was stuck up a mountain.
Fine. Should probably still there.
Yeah, very expensive show. But House of the Dragon is not going to be like that. It's going to be shorter,
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
So
Well, writer's strike, and also we've not really discussed it. In fact, maybe we'll talk about that when we come back off our break and kind of like set it up. But the whole thing, I'd read stories about the reason they supposedly cut it short was because there's a battle where they need two toddlers to fucking have a sword fight or something. Am I imagining that?
I haven't seen that. I've just seen like, I've seen.
There's a storyline in the book.
Yeah,
where
well, there's a
like-
Fight Club, isn't there? We saw in season 1.
That's right. Yeah. but
All the children have their teeth filed down.
That's right. Maybe it's something. Like that.
I can't wait for House of the Dragon. I tell you what I would say as well. We were really in on House of the Dragon. I loved it.
Mhm.
I think it's probably. I really want to watch it again. Like, I think I'm like,
You ready? Are you?
yeah. Well, Rob wants to watch it.
Ah, well, there you go. There's the real answer. He's under the cosh to watch House of the Dragon again. Maybe we could do that.
I think though. I just think it was so good,
Yeah.
and it really. I mean, we thought that at the time, but
John's saying £1 million an episode, not a crazy amount. Cast of Friends are on far more than that 20 years ago.
that is very
That's
true.
very
But then they would be, and
There's only
they
6 of them.
yeah, but they'd be getting paid for 22 episodes a season.
Yeah.
This was just 6.
Yeah, fucking hell.
But then there's more people getting paid. It's a lot though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
this is
Richard, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll finish on this last question from
Yeah.
Richard, which was, who's your favourite character if you had to pick one?
in the whole season.
Whole of Game of Thrones. You
Uh,
can pick one main character and one rando.
my favorite main character is Cersei.
Okay.
I think she was the most interesting, unusual, always kind of made sense. Like, I just found her the most compelling.
Okay.
Who's your favorite main?
I'm gonna go Tyrion.
Mm,
I think Tyrion he had a lot of the best lines.
he did.
Uh,
He had a good journey as
he had
well.
a good journey.
Cersei, I feel like they dropped her
Yeah,
on the head in season 8 and
and
didn't know what to do with
I
her.
like Dinklage's performance, which was great. So that's the main character. Have you got a bit? Have you got a bit?
My
Mine was in that episode.
who?
I'm gonna go for Edmure Tully,
Oh, he's great. Yeah.
just because he's just such a. But I can't remember the actor's name, and in fact, we've almost certainly
It's
googled it
Tobias
before.
Menzies.
Tobias Menzies, who's in The Crown as Prince Philip, was he?
Yeah, and he's in this new Julia Louis-Dreyfus movie, You
Okay.
Hurt My Feelings, which looks amazing.
And he's just got a brilliantly. I've never met the guy. I don't know if I ever will or not. He just looks quite dim but brilliant with it as well. Do you
Mm.
know what I mean? And I don't mean that as an insult, but he can play dim really, really well.
Yeah, I was supposed to interview him many years ago for Red magazine, and he
Wow.
pulled out. I was really
Okay.
gutted because
Yeah.
I think he's great. My favorite sort of like, yeah, like lower tier. I really liked Roose Bolton. I felt like
Yeah.
he was someone, and you said that the guy playing him is terrifying, right?
Yeah.
Like
Oh
you
fuck
into
yeah.
you met
He
him,
was yeah. He came on Thronecast.
Michael something.
Oh
The thing I
yeah.
loved about Roose Bolton though is that guy who played him, he knew that what that guy had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner,
Yeah. Yeah.
and I just felt like that character, like he was so fleshed out for a small character.
Yeah.
And again, I just felt, I loved the thing about Thrones. They get all of these that older guard, like these sort of theatrical
Yeah.
actors to do these parts. That would
Well,
be mine, I think.
and
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's a really good point. Theatrical actors, playwrights, comedy writers writing
Mhm.
drama. It's something we've seen from Succession as well. It's like it's not difficult. It's not difficult. Just get people who
And
are really fucking good at the job.
yeah, give a little shout out to Joe Dempsey who plays Gendry,
Yeah,
because I just
I do love Joe as well.
absolutely,
Top fan.
absolutely great guy.
And Jacob as well. You got there, mate.
Oh man, he did. He stuck. He was in
Did very
5
well. And then he came. Then at the end of that, when did he have his hit with Bloodsport? Was that after this?
during. It was 2014.
Wow.
That's when I first interviewed him. That's a really good record, actually.
It is a
I'm
great
just
record.
disappointed he doesn't make music anymore, but he's now in that vampire show, isn't he?
Yeah, and he
Big.
was also subject to what I thought was going to be my greatest ever tweet, but actually just got completely lost in the ether.
What happened?
It's when he came on Thronecast. At the entrance of Sky Studios, there is a giant, the figures of Monsters Inc. Like,
Right.
so I took a photo with me and him stood next to them.
Mhm.
The caption was "Sully, unsullied, me." Not a fucking like.
Oh, that's good.
That's good, right?
Oh, that is a shame.
Thank you. That's it, gang.
That's it.
That's it. Dragoncast V.1 is done.
Yeah,
We're going to take a month off,
a month.
I think. I don't know. I can't work out what week that works out at, but
No.
around. I'm not going to specify a date, but around a month. We've got some plans,
We have some really cool plans that we'll talk about nearer the time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think.
but it will. Maybe we could like leave them with the new name.
Hey.
We're changing the name, and there's a reason for this. So, and the reason is quite simple. It's because it's a fucking nightmare calling something Dragoncast
When
and
you
then
don't talk about
talking
dragons.
other shows. It makes life quite
Yeah.
complicated.
And last week's episode, we did like a bonus episode that was
Yeah.
kind of a bit more loose and a bit more
Yeah.
light, and we were talking about all the things we're watching. That's going to form the backbone of the next era
100%.
of the podcast, and then Dragoncast will sort of factor into that.
Yeah,
We're
there will
kind of
still be Dragoncast, but it'll be episodes within.
we're creating an like an like what's it called, like an umbrella
Yeah,
company,
and we're going to
brand.
call it the Might Watch,
the Might Watch.
which we kind of really like.
Yeah, the
So-
Might Watch,
so there
because
we
we're
go.
going to be talking about everything
That we might
you
watch.
might want to watch.
So there we go. So it will still be on the same
That's
feed.
an exclusive.
That's an exclusive. You've got it. You take that. You take that to the bank. Pop that under your showbiz hat. Phone Neil Sean up.
Yeah, tote
And-
bags will be getting made soon. But yeah, we want to just, I think, because doing episode to episode recaps, they're very dense and they're brilliant, but
Mm.
we couldn't figure out one that made the most sense to do next. Also, unless you are doing that with us, we sort of felt like we were maybe
Yeah.
narrowing the scope of what we could do. So what we'll be doing each week is checking in, talking about what we might watch,
Yeah.
what we have watched, and having discussions about the things that we've seen.
Yeah.
Some weeks you'll be recommending something to me that you've watched.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be doing the reverse to Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll hopefully be having some special guests popping in, telling us about the stuff that they are working on.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think it's exciting. I think it makes a lot of
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
And then Dragoncast will do deep dives.
Yeah, yeah. We'll still go in on shows when the right show
You
comes.
know,
along.
we can go in
House of the
on.
Dragon obviously is a given. We'll be there. Dragoncast will exist with House of the Dragon.
Yeah,
When the next Succession comes along, we'll be there for that. When the next
We sure
Watchmen
will.
comes along, we'll be there for that. But it's difficult to know when those shows are. It's rare that it's the first season of those shows. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to kind of judge the mood and judge the room. We don't want to be wasting our time kind of making.
one thing I know we're going to want to talk about, which we might have to wait until we come back from our break, is Black Mirror. That's out this week.
Oh shit! It is, isn't it?
I'm really excited for that,
Okay.
but I want to wait until we've seen all of them
Yeah.
because
okay.
there's, I think, 5 or 6.
I'll tell you what. That's your homework. You've got a month to watch all of the Black Mirrors.
We'll do
Then we'll
that.
come
That's
back
what we'll
and-
do for the first one. We'll do
Yeah.
Black Mirror.
I like that. Maybe we'll get Charlie on. Who knows?
I would love that.
Do you know Charlie? Charlie used to come to the old Holy Moly parties.
Did he?
He did.
Well, can I just clang the biggest clang that I'm ever going to clang?
Clang away.
I was sat on a table behind him at the BAFTAs one year,
Mm,
and he was on a table with Netflix for Black Mirror,
of course.
and Jimmy Simpson, the actor from Westworld,
Yeah.
and he was in Black Mirror, was on the table, and Jimmy
Hang
had.
on. Was this the BAFTAs that I was on that table next to him?
Yeah, well, we probably spoke.
Oh my god.
We would have spoke.
I was on the verge. Yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
Yeah, but Jimmy Simpson had just done a shortlist cover, so he recognised me, and then he said, because this was the bit before everyone sits down, he was like, "Do you know Charlie and Connie?" Because obviously Connie Hook was there. So I had said hello to Charlie very briefly,
Oh, Charlie's lovely. Maybe I'll speak
but
to
we did talk at that. I remember that.
Jamie Sheen, Netflix, if you're listening, I'll be giving you a call. Right. That is it.
Okay.
gang. Thank you so much.
Thanks
for
everyone.
our first live episode, our first episode in person. Yeah, we'll see you in roughly a month's time.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you so
for
much.
tuning in and tweeting and
Yeah.
emailing us. It's really, really special that we've been able to do this for the last 7 months.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
And we'll leave it with a big old fat
Dracaris.